black guy.
Good evening and welcome to the Tuesday, June 18th, 2024 regular business meeting of the Olympia City Council. For the record, we have a quorum with all council members present this evening. So at this time, I'd like to move into announcements and invite up our city manager, Jay Burney, for a few words.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Again, for the record, Jay Burney, City Manager. So this is a tough one for me, so bear with me as we get through this. So tonight is Assistant City Manager Rich Hoy's last council meeting with us after 19 years with the City of Olympia. And as excited as I am for Rich as he heads off to Eugene, Oregon for new adventures, this is bittersweet for me. I have known Rich for the entire 19 years he's been here. We worked together as part of the Public Works leadership team back in the day when we were both in Public Works together. And then as both of us were promoted, we worked together on the executive leadership team for around 10 years now. Rich has always been a constant for me. We have been by each other's side for some of the most challenging issues the city has faced. Rich leaves an incredible legacy. He negotiated one of the most complicated water rights agreements in the state of Washington. And he did it in a way that honored and strengthened our relationship with the Nisqually tribe, and it's a model for how you do that work. He has similarly built a trusted relationship over the years with the Squaxin tribe through our environmental work together. And let me tell you why that is, and it's no secret. Rich cares about people and the impacts on people. He didn't do that work at the tribe because he had to. He did it the way he did it because he knew what it meant to them, to all of us. When I stole Rich from Public Works to be the assistant city manager, boy, did I hear it from the Public Works staff at all levels. And that's because Rich builds trusting relationships wherever he goes. He builds people up, he makes the hard decisions, and he makes you feel like you individually are the most important person to him at the moment you're with him. When Rich took over as assistant city manager for community vitality, he immediately brought that team together and unified them towards a common approach. It's the number one thing I asked him to do, and he did it fairly quickly because, as I've already said, Rich just builds trust with everyone he interacts with. There's so much more I could say tonight, but let me just end with this. There are people that come into your life that make you a better person, a better leader, a better everything. They fill a void in you that you didn't even know you had. Rich, I'm a better everything from the time we've spent together, and I will treasure that always. I love you. We're going to miss you here, and you're a friend for life with me. I wish you nothing but the best. You deserve every good thing that happens and comes your way in the future. Thank you, Rich, for your service to the City of Olympia.
Thank you, City Manager Burney. So, at this time, I don't want to put you on the spot, Rich.
I think we should go before him.
But I'll give you a minute. Maybe we should start with council comments. Any comments from the dais? Councilmember Madrone.
I will just add a +1 to everything the city manager said. And Rich, you and I got to have one last lunch together. I shouldn't say one last lunch. You're not going too far. I'm going to see you again. But one last lunch in this professional relationship we had together, and got to share with you how I feel, how of course, you're going to be missed here. And I'm also so excited for your next chapter in life. And I know that wherever you go, all these qualities that Jay shared, you're going to bring that with you, and you're going to enrich every community you touch. So, I'll miss you. I'm going to come visit you. We have literally climbed mountains together. And I'm sending my best with you. Thanks for all your service.
Councilmember Gilman, followed by Councilmember Parsley.
Well, I want to appreciate that
besides being a beloved manager and leader, that you were the champion for climate work here in the city for about 15 years before we got it staffed officially. And I am so grateful for that. And I want to recognize that you've also helped a lot with bicycling and multimodal transit. That's, I think, you can see it in the city, right? The infrastructure that's in place. So there's both people who've been touched and there's lasting changes in our infrastructure. And I agree with Jay that the decision with McAllister Springs and the agreement to do that was hugely significant in both our securing our water system and in our tribal relations, and that deserves big, big kudos. Thank you, Rich. You're a good guy.
Councilmember Parsley, followed by Councilmember Cooper.
I don't know if you've heard this term, I'm sure you have. Everybody uses it, leaving footprints on your heart. And I think that describes what you've done to all of us up here, what you've done to this city. And that doesn't go away. That's a legacy, Rich. I will never forget the moment, well, many moments. We sat in the room next door with 4 high school students and pretended to negotiate with them as they walked all over us and got everything they wanted. But you were so gracious with them and you made them feel heard and important and like they had complete ownership over that resolution, the inheritance resolution. I remember sitting in so many climate mitigation planning meetings where you made me feel like I knew what I was talking about when really you did. And I know that you have touched so many people, staff, community members. So you're leaving footprints on our heart, and I know you'll do the same in Eugene.
Thank you, Mayor Payne. I tried to write this down and it didn't work a couple of times today, but I just want to express similar sentiments to my colleagues. Rich, it's been a joy to have you be a part of the city, and I often say we're a world-class city and it's because of our staff, but man, it's because of you. We have a great staff team, but I would venture to guess that there's not an employee in the history of the city that's brought the gifts you have to the city of Olympia. And I mean that with all seriousness. Like, there's been a lot of employees, and they're great, and they do wonderful things every single day, but you lead with love and compassion. And as Jay said, in a human-centered way that is really almost, it's kind of, I wish every leader was like that. Like, when I think about what an ideal leader would be, it's the way you carry yourself in this work and the way that you engage with all of us, the staff, the council, and the public, who often are in a big, disagreement with us. And you're able to meet people where they are. And Eugene's going to be really lucky to have you. I was thinking about, and I mentioned this to you on Saturday, the first time I met you when you became the Water Resources Director, and I think you came from back east, and I was the director or the leader of our Conservation Corps crew through the WCC, and we did a haunted hike at now Squaxin Park, and Rich was the biggest boss we saw from the city at that crew level, and the big boss came and he brought his kids and he had fun with us, and that was my first, that's a solid memory that I have of a leader playing and knowing that that's his role. It's special, and I'm really, really glad to know you. And like Danny said, we'll see each other again. Eugene is not that far. We're going to be learning from each other. And actually, I think we have a I-5 corridor block kind of going on here from Olympia to Eugene now, and there's going to be a lot of big transportation projects and all kinds of cool stuff that will connect us in different ways in the future. And I just know that you're going to have a part in that. So look forward to seeing where you go, Rich. And Eugene, be nice to this guy. Thank you.
Mayor Pro Tem Nguyen, followed by Councilmember Vanderpool.
We're really gonna miss you here. I hope that's what you're hearing and feeling from folks. You and I don't have as much time in history together, and haven't always been able to work as closely, and I know that that'll be my loss. I really, really wish you well, along with everyone else, and what a bittersweet moment, though, but I hope it's still really, really sweet for you. I think that you should know that as I sort of like do my rounds around City Hall and kind of pop up and see what people are doing, many folks, either folks that have directly reported to you, folks that do not, folks that work alongside you, have shared with me unprompted how they're feeling about you leaving. And they all have great things to say. They all have really, really wonderful stories to tell about you. And I think you should know that. I have really observed what I think is just to be such a great, humble servant leader. You don't always say the most in a room, but you know exactly what you need to do, and you do it. And you speak up when it's important, and you don't when it's not. I remember knocking on your door when I was campaigning the first time, and I said, because I had learned, you're supposed to ask people what you think when they're campaigning, right? And I asked you, I was like, I know you work for the city, but if you do have any feedback, I'd love to know. And you were like, very respectable to me, very kind. You're like, that is not appropriate in my position. And that is so you. You are, and for what it's worth, every interaction that we have had together, I always feel you have been honest and you have been very kind to me. And it is very clear how respected you are and cherished by many. So I do hope that you feel that in the coming days. And I really look forward to, I understand we'll have an opportunity to see you off in a good way. So I look forward to joining in. I think all of us colleagues are, so yeah.
Hang in there, Rich. I know it's a lot to sit and hear about yourself in this way, but Councilmember Vanderpool.
I've only been on council for about 6 months now, and in my time and our interactions, they've all been supportive and valuable and approachable, and it's I'm gonna miss you. I've only been here 6 months, and every conversation has been. I just feel like I've been supported, and I feel that there's so much public service in our conversations, and again, you're not very far, so we're gonna still see you around. So miss you.
Okay, so like Mayor Pro Tem, I haven't had very much time with you, but in the time that I have had with you, it's always been something that I walk away from feeling like I have a little bit more pep in my step and optimism. You're somebody that always would use words of encouragement for me. I don't know if you realize that, but you would say things to me like, you're gonna be a great mayor. And I wasn't fishing for it or anything like that. You would just share what was on your heart in the moment. And that stuck with me, and it will always stick with me, because that's not something that's genuine, right? It's coming from a place of observation, and I respect that, especially from someone like you who has spent years and years in your career. And I want to just talk about the seamless transition for you as the Public Works Director to being an Assistant City Manager. That, at least from our perspective, seemed flawless. I don't think that kind of transition is something that's a small one. I understand that the scope and the scale of work for our city managers is something that's beyond being a department director to something that's a little bit more. And you did it without us even noticing so much as a hiccup of that transition, and we thank you for that. And I also just want to speak to the fact of, overseeing housing and homelessness and our team here at the city, and how that is an example of your leadership, especially as you transitioned into that role. And really, we are taking a hit as a city by losing you. There's just no other way to put it. Both professionally, personally, I think in many ways, it's so important to bring good character to the work that we do, and you're somebody that certainly has done that. And so I'm going to miss you. So I hope we see you again soon. And I don't want to put you on the spot, but if you want to say something, we would love to hear it. And thank you for your service, Rich.
Thank you so much, Mayor and council members and Jay, for the incredibly kind words. I'm going to remember that always. Thank you. As Jay mentioned, I've worked for the city for a little over 19 years now, and it has been an honor of my life to do so. I love this community. I love the city organization. I love the people in it. And I have tried to lead with love throughout my time, to have that really reflect in how I show up. I first want to just a few thank yous. I first want to thank you all as council members. I shared with you last week that I'm a public servant at heart, and I see that in all of you. It's a lot for you to serve in these roles. Those of us who work most closely with you see it more than most. To put yourself out there and serve our community and bring the care you do takes a lot of courage. And thank you for being bold when we need to be as an organization. So to all of you and to the many council members before you that I've had the pleasure to work with, I just want to thank you for your service. I want to thank Jay. I want to thank Jay for his friendship. I want to thank him for his leadership. The job of city manager is incredibly difficult. He does it with just immense poise. And I want to thank him for his trust in me to serve as assistant city manager these past couple of years. It's been awesome. I've learned so much. So working again with Jay and with Debbie Sullivan, all of us kind of grew up here together in the Public Works Department, and it's been a great honor. To work with the staff of the Office of Community Vitality these past couple of years has been incredible. So Pamela, Darian, Mike, Leonard, Tim, Suki, Diane, Kim, just the many staff. The city's incredibly blessed to have staff working as talented as they are on some of the hardest, most urgent, important issues we face as a community. And I know you know it. You see it. And I have just tried these past couple of years to do my best to support them in that work, because it's really difficult. I spent 17 of my 19 years at the city in Public Works. I'm going back to work in Public Works again in Eugene. And I want to thank the staff of the Public Works Department. They work around the clock to make sure that the infrastructure that we manage as a city, just our largest investment as a city, that's managed well for the safety of the community and to keep our community going. And so I want to thank them for all their support. I want to thank Steve Hall for trusting me to be the Public Works Director in the city. It was a big deal. And I was in that role for over a decade. It was awesome. It was an incredible honor. And I'll just leave you with one last thing. I was emailing with someone today who heard I was leaving the city, and they said that that I helped inspire them to lead with love and curiosity. And that was one of the greatest compliments you could pay me. Because you think, if you feel at any time like you got it all figured out, or that you think you know what it's like for another person to go through the world, you're off. You need to lean in with curiosity, because you don't know. And also just to really lead with love and compassion for all people. So, and I've tried to do that. So thank you for your kind words tonight. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, Rich. And now we're all just fighting back the tears. We did this at our mid-year retreat too last week a little bit, and it was tough then. All right. So at this time, before we move on to adoption of the agenda, I do just want to remind our community that we will not be meeting for the next 2 weeks. So that means this is our last meeting before our 4th of July holiday. And I just want to remind the community that fireworks are banned within the city of Olympia. So if you prefer to see a fireworks display, I ask that you please go to a public display. There are two that are taking place locally. There is the Rainier Vista Community Park free public fireworks displays in Lacey at 10 p.m. on July 3rd. And there is also the Tumwater Thunder Valley fireworks beginning at 10:15 p.m. on July 4th. So please adhere to the ban within the city limits and attend one of the public displays and enjoy your holiday and be safe. So with that, I need a motion to approve this evening's agenda.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor of the agenda signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We have an agenda. So our first item this evening is special recognition, which is a proclamation recognizing Juneteenth, beginning with a shared reading of our proclamation recognizing the holiday, beginning with Councilmember Cooper.
Whereas my microphone is doing that thing now. Whereas President Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation on January 1st, 1863, declaring that enslaved Americans in Confederate territory were free, paving the way for the passage of the 13th Amendment, which formally abolished slavery in the United States of America, and
Whereas word about the signing of the Emancipation Proclamation was delayed some 2.5 years to June 19th, 1865, when the U.S. Army troops arrived in Galveston, Texas, to read General Order Number 3, informing residents that all enslaved people were now free, and
Whereas June 19th has a special meaning and has been celebrated by the black community for more than 150 years, calling it Emancipation Day, Freedom Day, and Juneteenth, combining the words June and 19th, and
Whereas Juneteenth celebrations have spread from the South and are observed in different states throughout the country. And whereas Black community members in Thurston County have celebrated Juneteenth for over 40 years. And
Whereas in 2007, Washington State officially declared Juneteenth as a recognized holiday, and in 2021, Washington State officially declared Juneteenth as an official state holiday, and
Whereas the City of Olympia is honored to partner with the Women of Color in Leadership Movement and Media Island International to host a community Juneteenth celebration festival at Rebecca Howard Park on June 22nd, 2024. And
Now therefore be it resolved that the Olympia City Council does hereby proclaim June 19th, 2024 as Juneteenth in the city of Olympia, Washington, and urge all residents to become more aware of the significance of this celebration in African American history and its role in the heritage of our nation and our city. Signed in the city of Olympia, Washington, this 18th day of June 2024, Olympia City Council, Dante Payne, Mayor. So now at this time, I'd like to invite up Shauna Hawk, who is the Executive Director and founder of the Women of Color and Leadership Movement, to the podium to share a few words and receive the proclamation this evening.
Thank you, Mayor Payne, council members, and City Manager Jay Burney. I really appreciate you all just really noting the vision and seeing the importance of this holiday. I'd like to actually start off by talking about the colors. It really warms my heart to see the flags up here on your podiums. The red representing the blood that was shed and the sacrifices that were made unwillingly, but made, and the fertility of the future life and new beginnings. The black representing the skin of the people, the black people. Green representing the earth and how black folks were always connected to Mother Earth and always honored nature and the environment. So Juneteenth, with this event coming up, the symbology of it as an African American, it is really it's an important milestone for all of us Americans. It's extremely important to recognize, and we are recognizing the growth that it took for us to take that step. I also want to talk a little bit about the marketplace and the significance of the marketplace throughout different states in our country, the meaning for it for African Americans. And when they were enslaved, when we were enslaved, it meant a day, we would have a day off, and that day would usually be a Sunday. And so that would be a day where black peoples would be able to have a day of selling commerce, doing trade, what have you. So the significance and symbology of that during our Juneteenth celebration, that's where that comes from. And I just want to say thank you again. It's really an honor. It's definitely an honor for my ancestors and for the ancestors, and definitely the symbology of the park and Rebecca Howard as an ancestor, being a businesswoman in the 1800s when it was definitely trials and tribulations and blockades in her way, and her and many other black pioneers. And so the symbology of the day, the colors, the flags being posted in the community, the painting of the streets really means a lot. And so I'd just like to say thank you.
Yes, so before I bring the proclamation to you, do you want to just tell us a little bit about the event this coming weekend and where folks can show up? And
They can come to the Rebecca Howard Park, and it is right across 911. 911, yeah,
Yes.
there you go, Adams Street. So much going on. It will be from 1 to 5, and come support. There'll be some performances and presentations, good times, smiles for everyone to celebrate this important milestone in our country's being. So, yeah. Anything else?
thank you. I heard there's going to be some double Dutch. I haven't jumped
ahead.
into a double Dutch
Okay, so
ropes in
we're going to be
years,
seeing, all
but
right,
I'm really
all right.
excited to try and do it now.
Nice, nice, nice. All right. Very good. Also a celebration of African American culture, double Dutch, barbecue, just so many different things. So come, enjoy, share, have a good time.
Thank you, Shauna.
You're welcome.
Any questions or comments from the council? All right. Well, at this time, I'd like to take a photo with you and present the proclamation to you.
Okay.
And council members, please bring your flags. Thank you very much, and see you this weekend. All right, so that takes us to public comment for this evening. It looks like we have everyone for public comment is here in chambers this evening. So before we begin, I just want to remind those who are speaking this evening in public comment that there is a clock to my right, your left, there on the wall, indicating 2 minutes time for your comments. You will speak here at the podium. You will see that there is a box there with 3 lights on it. Your green light indicating that your 2 minutes has begun for your comments. The yellow light meaning that you have about 30 seconds remaining in your comments, and the red light indicating that your time has expired. If you do not finish your comments, feel free to email them to the council, the remainder of your comments. And also at this time, I'd like to remind everyone that we are in an election season, and please refrain from referring to a particular candidate or a ballot measure this evening. And with that, I will turn it over to the Mayor Pro Tem.
All right, so I'll go ahead and call a few names so that you can sort of get into the queue and be ready to speak. So first we have Tracy Dorfeld, followed by Gerald Apple, followed by Helen Johnston.
Well, you know when to begin?
Go ahead.
All right. So thank you very much. We're back. The South Capitol neighborhood is back. We, as promised, are bringing solutions to consider. On each of your desks, you have a small packet. There'll be an expanded packet in electronic form that'll actually have some PDFs and some pictures. That way, if we don't get through all the solutions tonight, you can reference them later. We proposed that we had a few problems with speeding, and we've talked about it, and there's 3 behaviors. There's one behavior, the I'm not aware behavior. There's another behavior, I don't care. And there's a third behavior, I'm willful and I'm not going to care. And so we want to use a combination of these solutions to address all 3 behaviors, okay? So when we look at, say, speed bumps, that's not the end-all, be-all. Then there's alternatives to it. But there's a lot of research behind it. We've found that the city of Bellevue, just as an example, has done an exhaustive amount of work outlining what could be done and how it's been done, okay? We also did recognize that there was a study, about 18 years ago here in the city. We're done with studies. We really need something done, okay? Everything in the study that was going to be done is done. So with that, again, we want to appreciate also the listening session that you've granted us. We're going to hopefully, though, listen to staff feedback about the solutions as much, if not more than, hearing us, again, talk about what we want to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Gerald Apple?
Thank you. My name is Gerald Apple, and I'm the Vice President of our South Capitol Neighborhood Association. I have 2 solutions. I would like to see a school zone created between 19th and 24th Streets on Capitol Boulevard. There would be a flashing yellow lights on during the time that students are going to and from school. This suggestion is strongly endorsed by the principal at Lincoln Elementary, and her name is Marcella Abadi. There is a school zone with flashing yellow lights that was installed several years ago up on Harrison Boulevard, up by Garfield Elementary. And boy, has it been a positive addition in slowing down traffic going through that area before and after school. I have another suggestion. This one is a very positive one. We should always think of rewarding those people out there that do the positive thing. Let us reward individuals that drive the speed limit on Capitol Boulevard. Okay, this might be an idea. We would take photos of the license plates of those drivers that obey the law. They would be eligible for a drawing to receive prizes from local businesses such as car dealerships and auto parts stores. We definitely need to reward those 40% that are doing the right thing. Thank you for listening to me. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Next, we have Helen Johnston, who's going to be followed by Morgan Montez and Sue Hedrick.
I think those were very, very good suggestions, and I'd like to propose narrowing of the lanes on Capitol Way and/or adding additional bike lanes. Currently, the bikes are using sidewalks, making walking very dangerous in the South Capitol neighborhood. Another idea is putting islands in, using that would be used to force one lane each way, and adopt a median, which would be flower gardens every other block, 4x4 raised beam construction, and would be maintained by the neighborhood. So those are my suggestions.
All right, we have Morgan followed by Sue Hedrick.
Good evening. I am Morgan Montez. I too live on Capitol Way, and I am here this evening because I too am concerned about traffic. What I really want you to know is that South Capitol is such a vibrant neighborhood. We often see people out jogging, riding bikes, training for our city's marathon, getting snacks and beverages from the frog pond, enjoying activities at Stevens Field. If you live in this neighborhood, you know that there's a ton of community activity. We are truly privileged to live in this area. But if you know this area, you also are familiar with the sounds of people going excessive speeds. And so I'm here to present two solutions that are shorter term solutions. The first is putting in flashing lights and illuminated signage on the existing crosswalks that cross Capitol Way at 17th, 21st, and 24th. These would be upgrades to the existing crosswalks there and would illuminate them so that people that are using them would be safer when they're in use. The second one would be a medium-term solution. It would be adding a second stoplight at the curve right before the I-5 bridge on South Capitol. So this would be at 24th and Capitol Way. This would cause cars to slow down at that curve. That's been problematic for traffic. Just this spring, somebody left and went through that guardrail, almost jeopardizing a home. I'm really optimistic about our work together between the association and the city so that we don't have to have a retrospective could have, would have solution about protecting this vibrant neighborhood and our joggers and walkers. Thank you.
Thank you. We have Sue Hedrick, followed by Jacob Hoffer and Elizabeth Walker.
Thank you. Members of the City Council, my name is Sue Hedrick. I live at 400 17th Avenue Southeast, and I serve as the Secretary of the South Capitol Neighborhood Association Board. I very much appreciate your listening to our concerns about traffic, speeding, and safety on Capitol Way, and I would appreciate your support for our proposed solutions. I'd like to make two requests to improve the safety of those who cross Capitol Way. I walk every day for exercise and pleasure, and I like to walk in the east side and west side of Capitol Way. I like to cross at 24th Avenue because there are usually orange flags there. Unfortunately, over time, the flags disappear. I think we're down to 2, and if they're on the other side of the street, they do me no good. Over the years, I've learned that when I'm holding a flag, drivers do tend to stop, whereas without one, they just ignore me and whiz by. Lots of people cross at 24th, dog walkers, school kids, families, and retirees like me. On one of my recent walks, I met up with Aaron Beck, who lives with his wife and 3 children at that intersection. Aaron is a physician, and he told me he has witnessed and provided medical assistance at several accidents there, about 1 each year for the 5 years they've lived there, and more recently, last Saturday morning. These accidents are the results of drivers who do not slow down or pay attention as they come around the curve. Along with the orange crossing flags, we'd like to see a flashing light crosswalk installed at 24 to make pedestrians more visible and help keep them safe. The flags stand out most when it's sunny. The flashing lights are most effective when it's dark. I would also recommend that orange crossing flags be installed at other intersections along Capitol Way. 18th Avenue particularly needs flags. There's an island, but without flags, drivers may stop in the 2 lanes on one side, but not the other, trapping pedestrians in the middle where it feels very unsafe. Thank you for your consideration of these requests.
In terms of Juneteenth, I don't understand why that's not a somber thing. The moral of the story was it needed the military to implement the law and what couldn't just update. It's not a celebration. I was accused of felony assault of a police officer because he had me my back against the wall and I pointed at him. I said, "You're in cahoots with hive mind cultists that are targeting me." He then aggresses on me, so his nose bumps my finger, and then says that I assaulted him. Right? If he's there to give me a trespass, then he needs to give me the pink slip. Right? I wasn't being violent. Right? Like it's a framing. And there was actually a woman in a Joker sweatshirt saying, "Why so serious?" The bus that I get on the moment that I get out of jail. Right? So like it was just like one person who just so happens to like it's a cult thing that's targeting me, and they're never honest. I'm as transparent as can be, right? There's Twitter, @politicalvegan on YouTube. It links to everything. I've got tons and tons written. I'm going to run out of time before I can. In terms of the First Amendment, right? They took my original sins protest sign. It was much larger. It's $20, right? And then when I get to the jail, they actually ask me, "Hey, have you felt useless and sinful lately? Do you think people are reading your mind?" Right? One of my handlers is @telepathyconspiracy on YouTube. It's also on Discord. It's every day for years. The officer's name is Davis, right? The person who did this to me. I went to the state campus, right? Just up there, right? I table flipped the Secretary of State booth, right? This is years and years and years. I don't know what to do. Right? Thanks.
Thank you. Elizabeth Walker, followed by Trudy Sukup, followed by Sarah Rawlings.
Hi, good evening. My name is Elizabeth Walker. I'm the new CEO of South Puget Sound Habitat for Humanity. I appreciate your time today. I am really grateful for this council's support of our work to date. The Boulevard project is really an amazing opportunity for hundreds of residents to become homeowners and permanently affordable homeownership. I just want to extend my deep thanks for your partnership in this and your vote of confidence. You know, we have a lot of projects going. In addition to Boulevard, we're always working on our pipeline. And we have another opportunity in the city of Olympia with private donors who would like to give us land. And in advancing these 2 projects, we've been facing code and permitting challenges that have major implications for the feasibility of the projects and also just for our sustainability overall of continuing to be able to provide affordable homeownership. An example of this is this private donation where you're facing around $118,000 per unit in off-site and on-site improvement requirements. That's pretty close to what we sell our houses for. It's not a tenable situation for us, and it's probably going to torpedo the project. We're going to have to say no to the donor because of these requirements. We all know that housing shortages is at a crisis level. We know we need to be doing something about it, but the reality right now is that code and permitting requirements are not helping the solution. At Habitat, we would like to be deeply contributing to the units available in Olympia, but we're facing some barriers. So we'd like to ask the council to consider an alternate code for affordable housing providers. This code might look similar to the emergency declaration for houselessness. It might look similar to a housing overlay zone that we see successful in other communities. But either way, an alternate code would provide a path for your staff to be able to, to help us meet our goals.
Good evening, Mayor Payne and esteemed council members. My name is Trudy Sukup. I live in the city of Olympia and I work for Homes First. And since 1990, Homes First has successfully been providing affordable rental homes for those in our community who struggle most to find and retain a home. I'm also here today to echo what my colleague Elizabeth Warren from Habitat for Humanity is saying. Building codes need to be updated, especially for affordable housing providers. You've asked us to do affordable housing. We're trying to do it, and we feel like there's a lot of barriers being put up in our way. Other cities have adopted these kinds of code changes, and it is reducing costs for the providers, it's reducing costs for the cities. It's increasing development speed, and it's being innovative and flexible in the work that they're doing. So they've also, other cities have invested in sales tax exemptions. So City of Tacoma and City of Seattle have changed the sales tax for affordable housing providers. Hundreds of thousands of dollars are going towards the materials that we use to provide housing that with an exemption would allow us to actually provide more housing. So the city of Portland has changed their codes, their building codes. So you can copy these ideas of other cities that are already doing it, some in the state of Washington, some in the state of Oregon, and make it easier for doing what you want us to do, which is provide more housing. Together, we can create a city where everyone has the opportunity to live in safe, affordable housing, and I urge the city council to consider these kinds of proposals, not just as a policy change, but as a commitment to the well-being and future of all Olympia residents. Thank you.
Hi, most of you know me, I'm Sarah Rawlings. I'm just here to kindly ask the city of, first of all, thank you for all of your hard work and this time that you're giving us. But I would like to ask if you wouldn't mind working with me on a survey to learn how Olympians feel about the concept of a mascot, a municipal mascot for the city of Olympia. I would love that to be rolled into whatever surveying you might do for the flag for next year. I know that's a big project that's coming down the pipeline. I'm going to be doorbelling a lot this summer and fall. I'll be working on several campaigns. So I'll be hitting doors, and I will be specifically hitting doors of people that are voters. So I will be able to help you find out more information depending on what you want to put on that survey. And I'm perfectly content with a question being on there. If you do not want a mascot for the city of Olympia, what would you like that money spent on instead? Which I think is good information. And I understand that that might end up a question on the survey about your budget that you're going to be doing soon. But maybe I'll just reiterate that I will be hitting a lot of doors this summer and fall, and specifically of people who are active voters. So I would love to help you, and in that way you would help me. So thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. There's no other public, in-person public comments, Mayor, and no virtual public comments.
Okay, just one moment. I'm not sure if our housing folks are leaving. Yes, so just hold on. Yes, so we'll get you some responses to your questions. So it looks like for your final council member meeting, Rich, they're putting you to work. So if you could speak to the concerns that both Habitat and Homes First representatives just inquired about, please.
Sure, happy to. So again, for the record, I'm Rich Hoy, Assistant City Manager. So thank you to Elizabeth and Trudy for coming tonight. I think our organizations have the same goals. We're wanting to see more affordable housing get built. I think a next step for us as staff would be to sit down, particularly with Elizabeth, and go through more of the details of the project that they're trying to get through and the land donation that they have, to see if there's an alternate path that we can identify within existing authorities. As you know, the council's already declared an emergency related to homelessness within the community. We can look to see whether that gives us some authorities to be able to move some things forward. If not, then we can bring that back and identify that to the council. So I think a follow-up would be to have our housing and homeless response staff, along with our community planning and development staff, meet with Elizabeth and go through that. And thanks also to Trudy for bringing forward the examples of what some other cities have done. I hadn't heard about the sales tax exemption. That's an interesting idea. And so we can do some more research, see what they've found, and also, you know, schedule a time to come back to the council and share more about what we've learned.
Thank you, Rich, and thank you to Elizabeth and Trudy for bringing this to our attention in this way. And also, we also value your partnership with us as well, and we want to do what we can to help you help us and help our community. So thank you. I also just want to make sure that I call forward Mark Russell to speak to the meeting that we'll be holding next week in response to the concerns of speeding on Capitol Way.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, Mayor and Council. For the record, I'm Mark Russell, Public Works Director. I just want to draw to your attention, you probably already know, and some of our community members know, we do have a listening session scheduled for next Tuesday, June 25th, here in the council chamber, since you don't have a meeting, from 6 to 7:30 p.m. And there will be staff from both the Olympia Police Department and our transportation team to listen to the neighborhoods and the concerns they have, and also start talking about solutions, both short-term and long-term. And so I'm pleased that we have some of those solutions already, and we're glad to engage in that conversation and see what we can do to improve the conditions on Capitol Way.
Thank you, Mark. Any questions or comments from the dais? Councilmember Gilman.
Thanks. Well, I appreciate this robust evening of comment. Thank you. The South Capitol neighborhood conversation, Capitol Way, I think it's true. We had our traffic calming pilot 18 years ago, got a few residential streets with some treatments like you're describing, but that's a long time ago. And So I've been intrigued with many of these strategies. We've thought Capitol Way, Plum and State, these are highways. How can you do something like this? And I think you're right that through Bellevue, I've had to go up and over the humps. And I've been just struck by how much the look of the street determines the speed. It's kind of irrelevant what sign you post on something that looks like a highway, people are going to drive it like a highway. And if it looks like a 25-mile-an-hour street, and it feels like one, it's closed in like one, people will drive that way. So I'm really intrigued that we begin to apply the crime prevention through environmental design that we're using for lighting alleys and making the backs of buildings safer. I think it should be applied to our streetscapes as well, so that it doesn't make common sense to go 50 miles an hour on a residential street because it just doesn't look like it's safe. And I'm also really intrigued with Elizabeth and Trudy's comments, the sales tax part. I grew up understanding that in Washington we don't tax groceries because it's a basic need. And it would be really interesting if we also considered housing to be a human need. So I think that there's a stretch to consider that sales tax, and I know we'll get expert evaluation of how that might work here. But I'm really intrigued with that, and I'll be keeping an ear to the ground to learn more about both these specific situations and about these overlays or alternate codes that other cities have employed. I'm intrigued with that. And Sarah, don't give up. I was just in a hallway conversation about this topic of mascots and flags and logos just a couple hours ago. So, yes.
Councilmember Parsley, followed by Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you, Sarah. I happen to agree. I think it can be a pride point for a city. I think I've told other people, Missoula, Montana has a flying platypus and a Superman suit that people wear on their T-shirts, and it's a place, sort of, as they're saying. So there's great pride, sort of like Keep Portland Weird. There it is. Mark, if it's possible, some of the community members asked if we could comment on some of their suggestions. Would we be prepared to do that at the listening session? Not now, not tonight, but at the listening session.
And Mark is making his way to the podium.
Yes, Councilmember Parsley. We have not seen those recommendations yet, so I think we can respond generally, but it's less than a week away, or it's about a week away. So I'll talk to our transportation team to see if we can get some initial feedback, but as far as in-depth response and analysis and all that, it'll be hard to do that in a week. But we can maybe give some initial thoughts based on our experience of the different methods. There's some good ideas that I heard tonight. I jotted them down. So it's just the short time frame. I'm not sure how much time staff will have to really get into those beforehand. But we'll do our best to give some initial feedback. But we really want to hear those ideas directly from staff or to staff, and then hear some of the problems that we're facing as well. So.
That's a good answer. I saw Councilmember Cooper rushing over to Rich with a list of some of the ideas, and I'm sure he will share them. But thank you. I didn't mean to put you on the spot. I just wanted to make sure we responded.
Of course. Yeah, absolutely.
Mayor Pro Tem Nguyen, followed by Councilmember Cooper.
Yeah, I just want to add my kudos to all of the neighbors that came out from the South Capitol neighborhood and provided some really smart ideas. And then also, we haven't read this yet, so we're just getting it tonight, but this few pages of suggestions, it just is, I'm sure they took quite a bit of work. And quite a bit of thought. There's some coordination happening here amongst neighbors. It's clear that you're a group of folks that support each other and that have a collective need. And so I look forward to the city sort of rising to the challenge here and figuring out something that works well. I do not live in the South Capitol neighborhood, but I live along Capitol Way, and absolutely there is speeding. I mean, there's sort of that obnoxious speeding, like those cars that really like to be loud all the time, different hours of the night. Those cars. Yeah, I don't know what they're called, but the loud ones. So thank you for that, and I hope that you'll also join us at the listening session. I hear that staff is going to do their best to start digging into this and seeing how much they can respond. And I think that it'll still be important to engage and hopefully letting other neighbors that maybe might not know about it come, even if you can just stop by for a little bit. I think that it'll be time well spent, hopefully. And then Sarah, what a great idea. Yeah, this is not the first time we're hearing about this, and also it takes a certain energy to keep on bringing it forth, right, and making sure that we're not forgetting about it. I wonder if you and our strategic communications director, Kelly, have gotten a chance to talk to each other. So Kelly reigns supreme on all things communication. So certainly an idea of having a city flag or a mascot that is very much in Kelly's shop. And so I I think that if you haven't already, I think it's time for you two to get together and talk about maybe what does that look like, and honoring that I'm sure Kelly has a process for this. She knows that there is, I would say, enough of an appetite on council for having some sort of mascot. It sounds like you also know that's not this year, but how do we get ready for it, right? So we collect a lot of information from community members in a lot of different ways, and so what makes sense for a mascot, and I'll tell you, I think that we're all up here really pleased that we have a community member that's going to kind of help us with it as well. Yeah, so yeah, we don't want to waste your talents. So thanks for coming out here tonight, and thanks for keeping it alive.
Councilmember Cooper.
The council member or the mayor pro tem from the North Capitol neighborhood said it very well.
Yeah.
Sorry. Anyway, so I also wanted to encourage Sarah and Kelly to hook up. We affirmed on Saturday at our retreat that we still have a project plan item for looking at the whole city brand in 2025, and I think it'd be great for you to hear kind of Kelly's frame on that, and it would be great for Kelly to hear some of the mascot stories that you told me, to the point where I didn't want to leave. Like, oh my goodness, there's some really cool things that have happened around the world, particularly around big projects and building mystery. And we have a couple of big projects. In fact, I was just on a call with Councilor Madrone about removing the dam earlier today, and thinking, what a big project that could be a cool opportunity for something like that. The housing conversation, I'd love to hear more. In fact, I'd like to see, like, if we already have a housing update scheduled soon for council, so that we can hear some of these new ideas. In fact, Darian was just talking to me the other day about some legislative authority that was created this session around sales tax for conversion from office to housing. And so one thing to point out, though, is I know Tacoma is, and maybe some of other cities that have done sales tax changes might have different powers than us, because they're charter cities, and we don't have necessarily all of the powers to do sales tax reductions. We need some explicit power from the state usually. So, but still really interested in learning more. I drive the South Capitol pretty regularly, and I think we have the same speeding problem on Henderson. There's just, the wildlife doesn't come in and complain. And I say that a little bit flip, because we have a problem all over the city, and I appreciate that you're organized, but our challenge will be, with limited resources, how do we make sure that we go in an order of priority based on safety? And obviously, Mr. and Mrs. Sewell's house is a prime target for that, almost too literally, for that conversation. But I think that's the challenge, is you're well organized and others are not, and still dealing with the same situations, like on Carline and North and Henderson, Harrison, all over the city. There are speeding issues. So I commend you, and I want to do something. In fact, I want Capitol Way to be the green parkway with less lanes and roundabouts, and that has been talked about for so many years, and I hope that we can get there for sure, and maybe not just because of speeding, because it's beautiful. Yeah, and I think the last thing I'll say, I'll come back around to the mascot, because the prevailing conversation is who gets to dress up as the mascot. So we're going to have a pool or some way to decide that in the future. So thank you.
Councilmember Vanderpool, followed by Councilmember Madrone.
Yeah, I want to also say that I appreciate everyone coming out. This has been, I'm glad there's so much community involvement. The biggest thing about this, I think, is, when we think about our code, when we think about speeding issues and transportation, when we think about, like, the involvement in our mascot, I think about community involvement. And I think that, although we have a lot of limited resources as a city, I think that community involvement is a kind of multiplier effect when it comes to trying to get things done. And that I'm looking forward to next week, and I'm looking forward to what else we can do with this energy that comes from what solutions can we come up with despite our limitations. So I appreciate y'all coming out tonight.
Councilmember Madrone.
I won't repeat anything that's already been said. So +1 to a lot of things that have already been said. Elizabeth, I gave you my card. I chair the Land Use and Environment Committee, so I'd love to talk with you more about how much more we can do around affordable housing. I know there's quite a few things where we already do exemptions for affordable housing. So if there's something that's missing from that equation, I see you. Let's chat about it. And when it comes to mascot, I'm totally on Team Otter. And Jim, if you want to dress up as an otter, I will help sew that costume.
I'm taking pictures.
Seals eat otters for lunch.
All right. Well, I first to all of the South Capitol neighborhood folks, I really just want to say thank you, and I appreciate your persistence on this issue. It's something that requires this kind of persistence in order to keep members of our community safe, yourself safe, and we just really appreciate you coming back and bringing this to our attention. Also looking forward to next week's meeting and see how we can work together to improve that corridor for all of the residents and visitors of our community. So very much looking forward to it, and I hope it serves as a model for how we engage neighborhoods on other issues going forward. I really feel like something positive is going to come out of this, so I appreciate your engagement. Sarah, first of all, I want to confirm that you and Kelly have talked. It looked like, Kelly, you were making eye contact and you were shaking your head. So yes, that's taken place. So thank you. I didn't realize that we were already declaring teams and everything like that. But I will just say, that I really appreciate your enthusiasm. We deal with a lot of heavy stuff, and this is something fun, right? So I'm really hoping that the community embraces that, and looks like your idea is to capture some both qualitative and quantitative data around this through your going door to door. So that'd be great to know what the community thinks, and we appreciate you coming back to remind us of what we want to have on our work plan for next year. So thank you, Sarah. And also, on the habitat Elizabeth and Trudy, what you brought forward, I am very much looking forward to seeing what we can do around easing some of these barriers that are before you and apparently us. It sounds like maybe we're in our own way, and so I'm very much looking forward to engaging on how we can change that and make it a bit easier. And also, hopefully, something will come out of that discussion with our chair of land use, even more about maybe some other thoughts or ideas or things that you notice as an external partner to the city when it comes to developing affordable housing that could be of use to us all. So thank you for that. All right, so with that, I believe that concludes public comment for this evening. We just had everyone sign up in person. There's no one remote online, is that correct, Mayor Pro Tem? Yes, okay. All right, so with that, we will move on to adoption of the consent calendar. Thank you, have a good evening. But before we do so, I am tracking that we have one pulled item for this evening, which is item 4K, regarding the approval of a resolution authorizing an option to purchase real estate agreement of the real property owned by JJP Group LLC for future temporary shelter, affordable housing, public roadway, wetlands preservation, and open space. And here to speak to this pull this evening is Darian Lightfoot, the city's Director of Housing and Homelessness Response. Hey, Darian.
Hello. Hello, Mayor and Council. My name is Darian Lightfoot, Director of Housing and Homeless Response. Before you tonight, you have an option to purchase agreement. That purchase is pertaining to 2 specific parcels of land. Those are sandwiched in between Martin Way and Pacific, and right at the corner of Ensign Road and Martin Way. In that large swath of land, currently the city owns 2 of those parcels, and we're looking to potentially maintain ownership over all of the parcels and look to pursue development of affordable housing. Later in the agenda, you'll hear a public hearing tonight of a specific grant opportunity where with this purchase, we would be able to tie this option into a larger grant and develop this site. This is currently known as the Jungle. So in this larger grant application, we would be able to support the larger encampment, transition people into temporary or permanent housing, and then build affordable housing. What's included in the option to purchase is allowing the city 2 years to see if this is a good option for us. The site is currently listed at $3 million, so under an appraisal review and determined price, we would have 2 years to come up with the agreed upon price and then purchase the site and continuing to pursue grant opportunities if we're unsuccessful with the current one that we're going to submit. Also in the option to purchase, it allows us to have clearer access to the site. I know the city is eager to do a larger clean of the jungle. Service providers and the homeless response team are really excited to do more outreach and connected case management with residents of the jungle, and then just have a safer place to park when we are doing those outreach engagements. So through the purchase, we would have 2 years to decide if we want to purchase and establish an agreed upon purchase, have access to the site and the residents that are currently there, and then do a clean. And access to a larger right-of-way if we were looking to pursue the development of the site with the roadway that would be required. And I'm here to answer any other questions that you have about the option.
Any questions or comments for Darian? All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. Any additional requests or for polls for questions or comments this evening? All right, so with that, I need a motion to adopt this evening's consent calendar.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor of the consent calendar signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Consent calendar is adopted. Thank you very much. So that takes us to item 5A, which is a public hearing on the City of Olympia's Preservation and Reinvestment Initiative for the Community Enhancement Price Grant application. And here to present to us this evening is Anastasia Everett, the city's CDBG Community Development Block Grant Program Manager. Hi, Anastasia.
Hi, good evening, Mayor and council members. For the record, my name is Anastasia Everett, and I am the city's CDBG Program Manager. Thank you for the opportunity to give this presentation on the Preservation and Reinvestment Initiative for Community Enhancement, or PRICE grant. PRICE is a competitive grant opportunity issued by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, or HUD, and it was issued this spring. It uses CDBG statutory and regulatory framework and supports the preservation and revitalization of manufactured housing. There's $235 million available nationwide, and this grant opportunity is open to a wide variety of applicants, including local governments. In the Notice of Funding Opportunity, HUD listed 6 goals for the PRICE competition. Staff worked to ensure that our proposed project would score highly and meet the HUD goals. This project before you tonight increases the housing supply and affordability for LMI persons, increases resilience to extreme weather and national hazards and natural hazards, and promotes homeownership opportunities. Eligible activities are aligned with the existing CDBG eligibility guidelines. The City of Olympia is an existing CDBG grantee with robust knowledge of eligibility, which assisted greatly in the project selection process. The PRICE grant application before you was lovingly prepared by an incredibly talented team of federal funding subject matter experts. The grant application is a partnership between the City of Olympia and Northwest Cooperative Development Center. Thurston County was paramount in the writing and staff support aspect of this proposal, though they will not be a direct recipient if awarded. The framework for this funding opportunity was broad, and it supported a variety of potential projects. We know that regionally we are facing an affordable housing crisis. The grant team saw this as a unique opportunity to fund the creation of new affordable housing in the form of a new resident-owned manufactured home community. The application meets several of Olympia's Housing Action Plan goals related to housing and homelessness. Once the project had been selected, the grant team began working on identifying a suitable location for the new manufactured home community. Staff reviewed 6 locations across Olympia and the greater county and assessed according to a number of factors such as parcel size and developable land, proximity to jobs and schools, and feasibility of development. The location the grant team identified as being the most opportune is already partially owned by the city and is located between Martin Way East and Pacific Avenue Southeast. It is commonly referred to as the Jungle. This property is along a high-frequency traffic corridor and is nearby to a variety of services and amenities. This location was chosen due to the numerous benefits that this project will result in. Perhaps the biggest impact, apart from the creation of new affordable housing, will be the opportunity for the city to receive relocation assistance funding from the PRICE program and work closely with service providers to relocate residents at the Jungle to temporary or permanent supportive housing. The project will also help clean up the wetlands at the site, which are currently being negatively impacted by the unsanctioned encampment. And the creation of a new neighborhood will promote economic growth due to outgrowth to nearby businesses. And lastly, this site poses challenges for private development due to the requirement of a new road to be being constructed if the site is developed. I'm tripping on myself. The proposed project is a partnership between the City of Olympia and Northwest Cooperative Development Center. The main activity is to establish a new resident-owned manufactured home community. For the purpose of this project, currently named Woodard Creek Manufactured Community, and this will be revisited later with the eventual residents of the neighborhood. The community will consist of 2 and 3 bedroom homes that will serve exclusively first-time home buyers with incomes between 50% and 80% of the area median income. And the project also includes a funding request for the construction of a new major collector road from Ensign Way Northeast to Pacific Avenue Southeast, reducing emergency vehicle response times. This project is sensitive in nature as it includes the relocation of an existing and well-established encampment. Minimal community engagement has so far been completed, but a detailed community engagement plan is included in the grant application. Should the city receive funding, stakeholders from across the community will be consulted throughout stages of the project. The city and Northwest Cooperative Development Center will hold public forums to spread project awareness and provide education on cooperative models. Documents will also be translated into multiple languages to improve access to community members. On tonight's agenda is an option to purchase agreement with the property owner for the land, with the property for the land needed to complete the project. It's a 2-year option that allows the city to use grant funding and Section 108 funding to pay for the acquisition of the remaining acreage outside of city ownership. The agreement allows for immediate and ongoing access to encampment residents by the homeless response team and nonprofit service providers. Staff will also have access to perform site cleaning and service providers will have safer parking. This will greatly increase the services that we are currently able to provide at the Jungle. Our community does not take the relocation of a well-established community lightly. The city will work closely with service providers who already have established relationships with the residents, such as Olympia, to ensure that the relocation process is trauma-informed, transparent, and that everyone is placed in safe housing. We are requesting $500,000 in relocation assistance for safe exiting of the Jungle. The relocation process will occur parallel to the planning and permitting stage of the MHC. At least 50 tiny homes at the nearby Franz Anderson Tiny Home Village will be available for residents exiting the jungle. It's important for us to prioritize opportunities for a well-established community to remain intact as residents have formed long-standing community relationships together. The city recognizes that there are more than 50 residents at the jungle. The goal will be to pare down the encampment to 50 or less before making the transition to the Franz Anderson Tiny Home Village. Saturated case management and time will allow the homeless response team to work closely and better collaborate with coordinated entry. This is a similar approach homeless response took to the Ensign Road closure when transitioning people to Quinn Street Village, and that was very successful. As relocation efforts are underway, the development of the MHC will begin concurrently. Northwest Cooperative Development Center will begin site design and negotiation with manufactured home vendors. The process will include a planned Phase 1 and Phase 2 environmental assessment, which may include site mitigation. Site preparation and construction of the MHC and supporting road is expected to take approximately 15 months. We will be working with housing providers such as Homes First and South Puget Sound Habitat for Humanity to connect with their wait lists and current tenants to offer home ownership opportunities to known residents at or under 80% AMI. In early 2024, the city completed an affordable homeownership study aimed to increase the production of affordable homeownership units and identify strategies to support long-term affordability. Stakeholders interviewed in the study often reported that resident-owned models create more housing stability and affordability and provide more housing choices. The grant team worked closely with Northwest Co-op Development Center to ensure that findings from the homeownership study were incorporated in the Woodard Creek project design. This proposal is staff moving forward on a council-supportive, creative approach to homeownership. The project proposal includes the full price of acquiring all of the units, eliminating the need for potential homeowners to secure a formal mortgage from a traditional lender. Prospective homebuyers will finance through NWCDC with reduced underwriting requirements, providing low barrier financing to low-income homeowners. The loans will have favorable rates and payments will be tailored to the household's budget. Homebuyers will also be able to build equity in this model, allowing residents to be able to generate wealth. Loan payments go into a revolving loan fund for future residents of the site to use for down payment assistance, ensuring permanent affordability. Lastly, the cooperative is to be run at cost, ensuring lot rents increase below market rate and remain affordable. The grant team worked closely with the city's Public Works Department to prepare a budget for the creation of a new collector road. Our comprehensive plan requires the development of this collector road for the surrounding areas to be developed. Road design will incorporate buffers to the adjacent wetlands and will include enhanced cycling and pedestrian safety measures. The new road will improve emergency vehicle access to Providence St. Peter's Hospital and will allow for the expansion of public transportation along the collector road. And we will now move to the project timeline and budget sections. This infographic shows the project timeline from beginning to end. Beginning with outreach and relocation efforts in 2025 and 2026, the city will collaborate with service providers to transition encampment residents to temporary and permanent housing. During this time, road and utility design and permitting will take place. The construction of the road and utilities will address goals and priorities outlined in the Transportation Master Plan and comprehensive plans. The manufactured home community design will also take place in 2025 to 2026, and road and utility construction will occur in 2028. The manufactured home community construction will occur in 2029, and the site will be open to residents and can move in early in 2030. So shown here is a high-level overview of the budget. A detailed budget is included as an attachment in the staff report. The majority of the costs go towards site work, including utility connections and construction. The federal share for this budget is 40.9 million, with the city's match being 7.16 million. The matching funds are from a variety of sources. 3 million come from the Transportation Capital Fund as a match for the Ensign Road extension. 2 million is a match for utilities along the extension from the Water and Wastewater Utility Capital Fund. There will be a 1% tax for the arts included in site design. And if awarded, city staff will begin a loan application for the Section 108 program to provide additional acquisition costs for the site. Lastly, 160,000 is matched from the home fund for the purchase and sale option for site acquisition. The grants application is live now on the city's website at olympiawa.gov/cdbg, and it is attached to the agenda packet. The public comment period is open from June 17th to July 1st. This evening is the public hearing, and council consideration of application approval is set for July 9th. If approved, staff will submit the application to grants.gov on July 10th, and awards are expected to be announced in fall of 2024. Fingers crossed. So thank you for this opportunity, and Darian and I are available for any questions.
Thank you, Anastasia. Any questions or comments from council? Councilmember Madrone.
I actually don't have any questions because as I was jotting them down, you would answer them on the next slide. So very thorough presentation, thank you. And wow, there's just no shortage of work for y'all to do, is there? What an incredible multi-benefit project this is. Affordable home ownership, trauma-informed relocation, wetland restoration. This is very exciting. So thank you so much for all of your work to pull this together. Really big thanks to the staff at Thurston County who contributed to this. To me, this shows the strength of the Regional Housing Council and the work that jurisdictions are doing to support each other, even when we're not necessarily the direct beneficiary. I know that Olympia has done that for other jurisdictions, so it's nice to see all that reciprocated and to see the expertise that we have in this region shared. Excited by the partnership with the Northwest Cooperative Development Center. Hi there, Sam. I see you up on the screen right there. Thank you so much for your work on helping us with our home ownership study and to help craft these kinds of goals that you are now helping us to pursue. All of this is just very exciting, and I will be waiting with bated breath for the fall to see if we get the funding for this. It is so needed, and I really just want to thank you all for stepping up to the plate. And I know this was a huge lift to get this ready in the timeline that you did, and just very grateful for your service.
Well said. Councilmember Parsley.
I'm just going to start with every time the housing department comes forward, I'm like, oh, wow. And I am impressed because I've been on council long enough to remember when we weren't doing this. And I have been asked and doing a lot of work on what does this take for affordable housing and how do we close the income inequality gap, home ownership. We have been struggling with the jungle since before I was on the council. Now looks like we may have a plan. Just gratitude that I feel to you and your department, Darian. I know that it's quite a few people on staff now, but your leadership, so thank you. And I will never stop being proud. But I do actually have a question, and I'm just trying to make sure that I understand. On the amount of work being done and the costs, is a large portion of this due to the road? Because the architectural and engineering as well as site work and everything else, I'm assuming a lot of this has to do with the work. How much is actually restoration of the wetlands?
Ooh, the restoration of the wetlands, I'm not sure if we have, Darian, can you speak to this one? I don't think we have.
The road itself is about $20 million. So this is that does not include the clean of the land, but it does set up the buffer. So with that in tandem, yeah, the road is a large portion, and that's why we've seen the land sit vacant for so long. It's really challenging to develop because we've set that requirement. once you go to develop the land, you also have to include the road. So housing is almost an eminent no-go in order to be developed in the site. We've seen commercial be interested, but that is even hard to pencil at $20 million. So yeah, the restoration of the wetland and the road is a huge expense.
Wow, thank you. And one more time, thank you. What a humane answer to a crisis, basically. So thank you.
Councilmember Gilman.
Thank you, Mayor Payne. Well, I agree that this opportunity addresses so many concerns and opportunities all at once. Like, that's amazing. And in my opinion, whether or not we win the price grant, that this sort of, it's time to start moving forward on this kind of a plan. So I hope that we'll win this, but either way, I think the whole package you've described is really important and valuable for us. Two questions, or really one question and one request to do a little explaining. One is whether you're anticipating 50 units or 50 individuals housed in the units?
Yes, that's a great question. It's going to be 50 units, and they will be some single people and some families. And correct me there if I'm wrong, Sam, but that's my understanding.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And then my request is, it's been a few years since we talked about Section 108 loans as kind of a auxiliary to the community development block grants. Could you describe that funding opportunity for the city?
I sure can. So the city has the opportunity to borrow up to 5 times its annual or most recent annual allocation of CDBG through the Section 108 program. It's guaranteed by the city, CDBG. It can be used by nonprofits, by the city, for a variety of different projects. The city in the past has used it for an economic development loan fund. It can be used for public infrastructure improvements, housing. It's a tool for communities to tap into larger amounts of money than they are typically able to tap into with CDBG. So there's a big push right now at HUD with get your communities using the 108 loan. I believe it's pretty underutilized. So.
Any other questions or comments? Councilmember Vanderpool.
This is incredible work, and I'm going to repeat a lot of what everyone else is saying up here, my council mates, but this is absolutely incredible work. And, you know, this shows that our city is doing, which is punching above its weight. We're doing more than a lot of other cities of our size wouldn't even attempt, and I am proud of the staff's work and the dedication they're doing. I mean, really, this is excellent stuff. I mean, if this happens, you know, you've set the bar really high, you know. So then we're gonna have to, you know, you've set the standard, a new standard. So I really do appreciate absolutely all the work you do.
Councilmember Cooper.
You have a quick question for Sam. Hopefully we can hear him. How many built for ownership manufactured housing developments are there in the United States?
Built to be resident-owned from day one.
Oh, no.
We can't hear you, Sam.
It's really quiet.
We can hear you very faintly, so if you have another microphone.
I don't, but I can try to yell.
There you go.
I don't know of more than 1 or 2 that are actually resident-owned limited equity co-ops. There are a number that are market co-ops, but very few that are affordable housing limited equity co-ops.
Okay, so I heard 1 or 2 that, but really very few that are affordable.
Yep.
And so, kind of like Councilmember Vanderpool, like we're plowing new turf here, and it's really exciting. Because a lot of people have been trying to crack this nut, I think, and this will set a precedent for something a lot more communities can build without needing the $20 million road on other projects. So, thank you for bringing it to us.
Any other questions or comments from council? Yes, it's been said, and I'm going to say it again. This is a big deal. And thank you so much. Just when I think we've done it, you somehow managed to outdo yourself again. This is just a really significant, if we can pull this off, this is a significant story to tell about our community. This is the largest encampment in our county. And so to be able to tell that story about how we have taken this plot of land and we've turned it into a place where people, they have a roof over their head and four walls and their dignity is restored is an incredible thing that we can do for members of our community. And I'm so proud, as Councilmember Vanderpool said, of staff for just always having a big dream and finding ways to do more. I hadn't heard about this price grant opportunity before it came to us. And so you're obviously getting really creative, and I hope it works out for us because we have a tremendous track record of being able to, and we have the receipts for what we're able to do with our housing in this community, and I hope the federal government sees that and notices. So thank you very, very much for your work, and we're looking forward to seeing this be a major success for us in some way. And I know that if it does not work out, that we will find another way to move forward, and I'm confident of that. So thank you very much, both of you. And with that, I also just want to take the time to thank our partners in our community as well, because there are a number of folks that have submitted letters as part of the grant application process to try to receive this grant. So I want to thank the cities of Tumwater and Yelm, the Thurston County Chamber of Commerce, the Housing Authority of Thurston County, the Regional Housing Council, Homes First, Providence Swedish of South Puget Sound, the South Puget Sound Habitat for Humanity. Thank you all for recognizing that this is a significant need for us and coming to the table and being partners with us and finding a solution on what to do with this particular parcel in our community. So we thank you for their support. All right, so at this time, I don't believe that we have anyone signed up in chambers to speak on the public hearing this evening. But at this time, I am going to open the public hearing on the City of Olympia's Preservation and Reinvestment Initiative for the Community Enhancement Price Grant application. So although we don't have anyone signed up here in person or remotely, it is standard practice that we turn it over to those who are present in the chambers who would like to speak at this time on the public hearing on this matter. Is there anyone in the chambers that would like to speak at this time? Going once? Going twice? Okay, at this time I'm going to close the public hearing on the City of Olympia's Preservation and Reinvestment Initiative for the Community Enhancement Grant application. So this concludes our speakers for the public hearing and the hearing itself. And so I do want to just remind our community again that the grant application is opened through June 17th and will remain open for 15 days until 5 p.m. on July 1st, 2024. And if anyone wishes to email their comments to the council, your comments and testimony will be received during that public comment period and will be incorporated into the city's grant application and submission to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. So following the completion of the public's participation and requirements of approval, the city council staff will submit the completed grant application to grants.gov no later than June 10th, 2024. And yes, that is the following day after it is on our agenda on the city, or excuse me, July 10th. Thank you, council, for that correction. July 10th, 2024, after we take council action on July 9th. So, and at this time, the public hearing is closed. I think I already did that, but just in case. All right, so we don't have any business. We do not have any business items this evening, but we do have item 8A, which is a consideration of a referral regarding the decriminalization of nature-based PTSD treatments on the agenda this evening, which is sponsored by our one and only Councilmember Gilman.
Only one of 7 named Gilman. Yes, yes. Thank you, Mayor. This evening, I'm bringing forward some work that I did along with Council Members Vanderpool and Madrone to have Olympia join other cities across the state and the state of Oregon in decriminalizing entheogenic substances, including psilocybin and other fungi and plant-based medicines, which are shown to assist in the treatment of post-traumatic stress, anxiety, and depression. We had, in particular, advocates coming from the veterans community talking about the impacts of PTSD and the rates of suicide in their community and what they've experienced as the efficacy of these sorts of treatments. So the request, the resolution in a nutshell that we're proposing is to resolve that the City of Olympia would declare the investigation, arrest, and prosecution of anyone engaging in entheogen-related activities, including but not limited to the cultivation of entheogens for use in religious, spiritual, healing, or personal growth practices, should be a City of Olympia lowest enforcement priority, and declares that no city funds or resources should be used for investigation, prosecution, or arrest of individuals solely for entheogenic plants and fungi. The council further states its support for the full decriminalization of these activities at the state and federal level. So that's what we're proposing. And the resolution would offer an opportunity for our prosecutor and police department to review this and to bring us back a report about the current state of do we enforce these? Have we arrested people for this, for possession or use of these substances? And then it's my hope that we'll pass the resolution. So that's what I'm looking for thumbs tonight.
Thank you, Councilmember Gilman, and I also just want to mention your co-sponsors, Councilmembers Vanderpool and Madrone, who worked with you on this as well. Any questions or comments from council? Councilmember Parsley. Mayor Pro Tem Nguyen, followed by Councilmember Parsley.
Yeah, I really appreciate how this referral is coming forward. When I first heard about it, not as a full-fledged referral, but when I first heard about it, I had a lot of questions and some pause. I was like, wait, is that even an issue for us? Are we saying we need to stop doing this because it's running rampant in the city? What's the perception going to be? Are people thinking that we're just will it come across tone deaf, knowing that there is so many issues? Well, there's a lot of issues, though societally, but then also there's this is not opioid drugs, though. There's a huge issue with that, and our community is not exempt from that issue. And so all of these thoughts come up, and I really, so taking some time to talk more and understand more about where this referral is sort of coming from, and also always wanting to make sure that, what is the purpose of us having a resolution? And my understanding that it is just as you have written in the referral is that this is a part of a larger effort. So it's not necessarily, I guess we'll know more about it when the report comes across, but this is not necessarily saying, hey, here's a huge issue in our community and we need to make sure that we stop arresting people for this. But it's a collected effort. And so I really appreciate that, and I appreciate the time to whenever this does come back, that there is going to be a report and we can learn more about it. So there was an opportunity for me to check my own biases with this one, because I will tell you, I did not like it. I go, what? Mushrooms? What are we doing with that? Why now? We have enough things on our plate. So anyways, I appreciate the time that you've taken to really be thoughtful about this referral. Thanks.
Councilmember Parsley.
I will just say that I know for a fact that a majority of medicine and science comes from a natural source. As a matter of fact, the last antidepressive comes from St. John's wort. One of the last big discoveries for cancer comes from yew bark. I know that we have discovered over 80 cannabinoids in cannabis plants that have the potential from new pain therapy, new nausea drugs, new cancer therapy, you name it, that is just blowing the mind of most medicine. I also daily prescribe microdose ketamine because it has been shown not only to be excellent behavioral, but also chronic pain. So I am in general in favor of this. I have some issues, though, because I have done quite a bit of PubMed reading about this before I came tonight. I have two problems, or actually three. The first is the saying in our therefore be resolved, no city funds or resources should be for investigation, prosecution, or arrests of individuals. I'm okay with keeping low priority misdemeanor, not gross misdemeanor. I think that's fine. But unfortunately, until you get this prescribed and under the care of a medical care professional, you do have the potential for abuse, because there's a lot of people out there trying to self-medicate. And I do worry that, and I'm of the age, 8 Grateful Dead concerts, that I do know that that is an extreme potential. And I would hate to tie the hands of our police department by saying no funds, no investigation. I have no problem with low priority, as small as we can make it. But I just don't think in this point where we're actually reaching out in front of science and medicine that we do that, because unfortunately we've seen what happened in the opioid epidemic. Mm-hmm. So that sentence bothers me. There's another sentence that I would like some more information as in the report back, that when we bring back from the police department, is either, and this is probably an end as well, 2 points. I would like to have the social justice and equity look at our whereas and the third paragraph down. We look to the treatment modality to address the impacts of generational trauma on communities of Black, Indigenous, and people of color. I would like to know the relationship between the psilocybins and the fungoids in this community, and what is the relationship? Because I think that could be a statement that's out ahead of those communities. So I'd love to have input from the social justice and equity, and potentially even reaching out into our fellow tribal members through the subcommittee to make sure that we're not also making a statement for them that is actually not where they're at this point. And then when we have the report back, I would love to have someone from the health department, some medical professional that comes back and gives us their opinion, because when we first legalized cannabis, it was under the care of medical professionals, not community members. And so I just worry that if we get ahead of our medical community and science, that we make sure that we're doing this very thoughtfully. I'm not generally against it with these exceptions.
Thank you, Councilmember Parsley. Any other questions or comments? Yeah, I think that's a very good summary of some of the concerns that I had. And in fact, I was just looking up here. So it looks like the state legislature in 2022 directed the Healthcare Authority to create a work group to study whether to make psilocybin services available in Washington. Do we know the findings of that, if the work group, where they are?
I believe they've gotten as far as hiring the UW to do a study, so, yeah.
Okay, so that just speaks even more so to Councilmember Parsley's point about getting ahead of the science on some of this, and so we want to be careful, craft this very carefully in a way that doesn't do that. I also have a question about, you know, I understand that the medicinal reasons, religious and spiritual reasons. I've watched documentaries on this sort of thing, but what I don't understand is what we mean by personal growth practices. That seems very broad, and I think that also speaks to Councilmember Parsley's point about self-medicating. And I'm not exactly sure what that means. And so we certainly, as a city, don't want to enable any sort of substance abuse. This one has taken me some time to think about, and obviously I think about those people who spoke against the legalization of marijuana and how wrong those people were, right? So I certainly don't want to do that either. So I understand that we are in a place of where we just don't know, and I want to acknowledge that. And also provide space for us to continue to move forward in a way that would be meaningful to folks who feel that they need to use this as a means of treatment for PTSD and other mental health or medical reasons, or even spiritual or religious. So if we can figure out what we mean by personal growth practices, or if we maybe want to scratch that language altogether, I'm happy to have a discussion about that. But that, along with Councilmember Parsley's points, is all I have on it. But would support continuing to move forward.
Can I add one thing?
Yes. Councilmember Parsley.
Maybe instead of personal growth, because I do actually know two people that are under the care of an MD for behavioral health reasons on microdosing of psilocybin, and it's been tremendous for these two people. Could we put in under the medical care, and you know, not saying it has to be an MD, because there's NDs out there, naturopathic doctors, there's nurse practitioners, PAs, there's counselors that have the right to prescribe certain medicines, instead of personal growth. It's just, I'm throwing that out there just because we also have to help out the police department in terms of what is too much and who's making that statement, because I have read 3 papers that said if the dosing isn't correct, it can actually be pretty damaging, so.
Councilmember Gilman.
I would prefer that we don't edit it from the dais here. And I think we'll give staff some time, and we can all have input along that way. And then I personally would have real reservations about having it be under a medical provider, because the issue that they're having in Oregon, where they created that, was that the challenge of a licensed professional working with us while it's still a federally illegal substance. It just makes it very complicated to do the implementation. So that's what.
Well, it would be an end. It wouldn't be or an or. It wouldn't be only.
It could be an end goal.
Yeah, because you could have religious reasons. You could have, you know, other reasons that are listed, and then as a proviso, and those who are using it under the care instead of solely.
Right, we wouldn't want to exclude that, but the attempt in Oregon to limit it to that proved very challenging. So.
Anything else? And I also just want to say thank you to this half of the dais for including the recommendation to include a staff presentation on what we're doing on those on matters related to mental health and substance use treatment. So I appreciate seeing that, because as the Mayor Pro Tem said, as we move forward, we don't want to appear tone deaf on the issues that are of real concern to members of our community who have concerns about the abuse of substances. And so this isn't something that we're doing to play into the hands of that, but rather seeing this as a alternative medical treatment option. And so with recognizing that, I just want to say thank you for including that in the referral.
You see Danny's hand?
Yes, I do. Councilmember Madrone.
Yeah, and I just wanted to note that, the inclusion of that is like not to conflate the two issues. It was to be responsive to concerns, and August is Overdose Awareness Month, and that is when we typically get an update on some of these items here. So I just want to make sure that it's not a side-by-side thing and that we're conflating two very different issues. So it's in there, and it'll be, it'll I think be best fitting coming up with things that will already be coming forward to us in August.
Yes, thank you. So any further discussion on this item? All right, so thumbs up, we're good to move forward. All right, so we're moving forward. Thank you very much. So that concludes all of our business for this evening. So we'll start with council reports, and I'll begin with the mayor's report. So just last week, we held a meeting with the VFW Post 318, who Commander Beeler and others from that post have come to public comment on several occasions during the past several weeks to our meetings to speak on issues that they are concerned about in regards to the activity happening outside of Unity Commons. And so what started out as initially a small meeting turned into a much bigger town hall style like meeting where we really had quite the community discussion around the type of activity that is happening there, and very much looking forward to how we move ahead. There were some really tough things to hear. I think that there were certainly differences of opinions in the room and things of that nature, but I think the one thing we all understood in that room is that we care about our community and we care about all of those who are affected by what's happening there. And so we certainly will be continuing to work with the VFW and Interfaith Works and with the Low Income Housing Institute on solutions to that particular area. So stay tuned for further developments on that. This past weekend, we also held, I also just want to mention that I was joined for that particular meeting by Mayor Pro Tem Nguyen and Councilmember Cooper, as well as Assistant City Manager Rich Hoy. And I want to thank all of you for just really being able to speak to some of the concerns that many of the community members held in a way that was respectful, and I think we've certainly got some value out of that conversation, so thank you. This past weekend, we also held our mid-year retreat, which was my favorite mid-year retreat that we've had since my time on council, and we really got into some really what I call necessary tangents that we don't get a whole lot of conversation throughout the year amongst the 7 of us outside of council meetings. And so it was great to come together and be able to have some conversations about a lot of work plan items that we weren't able to discuss in other ways. And so I think we were able to get to places of understanding where we are aligned and where we're not on many of the issues. And so with that, we had several discussions on our equity framework as a city, as well as getting a presentation on our long-term budget strategy, as well as going over the status of our work plan items at the retreat. And so it was a very robust agenda, and I just want to thank the council and city staff for making that retreat experience a very enriching one. And I can't believe that the staff is already at 82% of the work plan items complete for this year, or on track to be completed. So we thank you for your hard work and dedication to the city. I also left in the middle of the mid-year retreat to go deliver remarks for the Juneteenth, annual Juneteenth celebration at the State Capitol campus, which is the state's Juneteenth celebration. And it was lovely to go, and I was invited on behalf of BUILD, which is the Blacks United in Leadership and Diversity, which is the state's business resource group. And so I appreciate their invitation and hope to be invited back next year. And lastly, I just want to remind our community that there are no meetings for the next 2 weeks, and the City Council will return to chambers on July 9th. And I will start to my right with Councilmember Madron.
Yeah, I just have one thing to report on, and that was a lot meeting on the 12th. We started off with a work session on the budget process, and the staff there are really, really excellent in terms of orienting me to the budgeting process and the ways that LOT approaches the budget. We talked about the capital budget, how LOT leverages debt to be able to do large infrastructure projects and pay for it over time. And we looked at, we got a preview of the operating budget as well, and some of the areas where, we're seeing challenges in terms of like the cost of insurance going up and the cost of energy going up. It turns out LOT is the largest user of energy in the county. So takes a lot to process wastewater. We also got an update on the education program. And the ways that LOT serves the community in terms of, and particularly students, with their education programs. And then we had a really great presentation on the Bud Inlet sediment cleanup by Jonathan Wolf, who works for the port as the Bud Inlet project manager, and who actually previously worked at the Skokomis tribe as their deputy director of natural resources. So I I've been acquainted with him before, and I think that we're in really, really good hands with him leading this project at the port. But he talked about the history of the industrial uses along the water, the kinds of toxins that we see in the sediment in the water, dioxins and furans, PAHs, metals, other things. And he talked about the project that the port is undergoing to clean up this waterway, and the ways that that this project connects with a lot of really other important things that we're all very invested in, including restoring the Deschutes estuary and addressing sea level rise. So it was a really, really cool update. It's actually the most thorough update I've seen from the port in terms of just status of that project and what's going on there and how it ties to many other things that we're all very interested in. So that's my report.
Any questions or comments for Councilmember Madron? Councilmember Parsley.
Is this a report from the port that might get to other jurisdictions besides LOT? Do you have any idea?
I mean, it probably could. I know that we've been talking about doing a joint meeting with the port sometime this fall, so maybe that's one thing that we could ask that be presented on. It's the first time I had seen it, and I've been so curious about this project. And I'll just add that, I know there's been some, challenges in the past in terms of is the port in it with all the environmental restoration that we need to see in the area? And after seeing this presentation, I'm like, yeah, they are 100% there with us, and they see the need for them to take a leadership role on that. So it was really refreshing.
That'd be great if we could remember if we do that. Thank you, Danny.
Councilmember Vanderpool.
Yeah, I have a few items. So I actually sat in on TRPC this last few weeks, and one of the big items they talked about is that they're going to be forming a subcommittee to look at their assessment dollars, because They showed us the chart of how they do a lot of their assessment funding, and it's like doing this kind of wavy thing. And the biggest question is, why is it doing this? Is it licensing? Where is it coming from? And a lot of it is kind of their hardware expenditures. And so they're going to be developing a subcommittee, and hopefully, Councilmember Padron will be on that. Yes.
Sure.
Okay. Well, I asked you the other day, so I mean, if you don't, I will go on it. So, also I attended the Olympia the CRI's Response Collaborative Executive Meeting. So in that, the consultant Cohen Resnick, which has been having meetings with us for a couple sessions. And so they're having a conversation about the funding for sea rise mitigation policies. There's going to be essentially a 2-year process beginning next year with public feedback, and then looking at the public feedback and what different various possibilities there could be for funding sea rise protection. And so I got a few emails in the last few weeks from some people that were concerned about any sort of taxing district. I want to tell people that it's important to know that we're at least a couple of years out before even doing that, and we're going to do a lot of public outreach. So then I was on the Transportation Policy Board last week. One really cool thing that's coming out of that is that there's a possibility of distributed projects in transportation, and that means we could potentially get $5 million back from the federal government for Phones Road, which would be awesome. Yes. And that's it. That's what I got.
Thank you. Any questions or comments for Councilmember Vanderpool? Councilmember Parsley.
Just yes, as finance chair, and I'm sure Jay would be saying the same thing.
Yeah, I'd like an extra $5 million. That'd be.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you, federal government.
Oh yeah, but maybe it should go to bikes.
Councilmember Gilman.
Just thank you for considering the referral tonight. Nothing else to report.
Well, I was going to ask you to do me a favor, but I will do it myself. So I want to say thank you to the Olympia Police Department, as well as Darian Lightfoot and Kim Condorat, for attending the VFW events. And yes, thank you very much. And I realized that I had skipped over you, and you're right here in my face, so my apologies. Mayor Pro Tem Nguyen.
I don't have any reports. I think they're well covered through other folks'. Just want to, I receive your thanks, Councilmember Gilman, and also I give you thanks in, even though I have my biases and my needing to learn more about this, I also recognize that you're listening to community members. You know, sometimes if you're sitting at home bored, wanting to think of the next thing to do, but it's like you're being responsive to community members that have reached out to you. And I really respect that, and you helping bring this work along in a way that makes sense, and in a way that, that a local municipality is appropriate to contribute to it. So anyways, I'm open to learning more, and looking forward to it, but thanks.
Thank you. Any questions or comments for the Mayor Pro Tem? All right, Councilmember Parsley.
I just want to make sure you know my comments are not a negative, because my example is the AIDS drugs. The policymakers had to get out ahead of the FDA to make some of these drugs become viable and available. Mm-hmm. So I just want to make sure my comments, I guess, just as good as we can make it. Does that make sense? Okay. I have 2 things to report. Both happened yesterday. The first was I was invited to the Disability ERG, which is Employee Research Group. This group is those who share identity of living with a disability, caretaking for someone with a disability, and or being an ally to employees, caretakers who are living with a disability. The reason they invited me is I am living with an invisible disability and have been my whole life. So I was able to share in a brave way my own story. And the group we launched in May of this year, and we're working on an outline on what they want to accomplish fully. Some of the notes from the first meeting indicate that the group wants to focus on advocacy, accommodation, education, inclusivity, and normalizing the ways of being in this world. And it was just really good energy, and I'm very proud that they have asked me to stay. I don't like, as a council member, to get into staff groups, but because I have a story that is one of those groups, and there's going to be some potentially policy and budget outcomes from this particular group in terms of accommodation, and how we are going to have to look at the city and our staffing very radically different in some ways, and how we have people working for us. It was very uplifting, though. It was a great group. And I'm just impressed with the city staff. I think you said it. We're a world-class city because of our staff, and that meeting just cemented it even further. The second one was the Finance Committee. We met yesterday afternoon after this meeting, and we covered 4 things. The first, well, it's not the first, but I'm going to list it because it's in the agenda this way. The operating budget process, we went over that. It was our budget spotlight. And some of you might have gotten the email from today about our GOFA Distinguished Award. We got it again. That's 40 years in a row. 40 years in a row. That's pretty amazing. The one thing we did get from our own Stacy Ray was how we're going to be looking at our expenditures, so the output of money versus the outcomes indicators, and we're going to be improving that. And Stacy did a great presentation. So we're spending all this money. Are we actually getting what we think we are out of that money? The second topic that we talked about was the the Olympia Downtown Alliance came in for the vibrancy funding request, which is, if you'll remember, some of the money that we are not going to spend potentially this year from Prop 1. And Todd Cutts came and he gave us a pretty good presentation on what we're going to be potentially doing this. And to give him props and ODA props, when it became apparent that we might be able to give up to $300,000, he went back out to the property owners and got an additional $140,000. So with their already earmarked $50,000 for the guides program, we are going to be able to bring this up substantially, and we are going to be able to fund the maintenance workers, graffiti abatement, tree lights, as well as the guide workers, and continue the work with PBIA for the flower baskets. He then also went on to discuss the most recent survey. Usually they do that later in the year. You guys, we should have the survey brought forward. I just want to give you a few highlights. In 2021, 49% of the business owners in downtown were happy with us. But in 2024, 82% are. That's a pretty substantial increase in 4 years. What was interesting was the cleanliness was actually lower than last year. Only 39% of the small businesses feel that downtown is actually clean. He was going to dig into some of that for us. And then the last thing we covered was the Oli Strong funding and where we need to go with this. And it was just an informational, nothing that is going to come to council right away. But if you all remember, Mike Reed has put together action items under the Oli Strong, and he does feel that our current about 500 to 600,000 is probably going to have to be supplemented with about 400 to about 550 for primarily partnerships in the community to get some of this work done. And he feels like we need to work basically on a policy that will help refund or refill the Economic Development Reserve, which is one of the mechanisms we use to buy land, including for land banking and housing, because Oli Strong pointed out housing security is an important part of our economic resiliency, using this reserve for potential purchase of land. And we talked about some potential options of funding for some of this, including bringing back up the B&O tax compliance, and using a portion of that every year to fund the partnership programs, about the 400 to 550, and then we're gonna have to do a cafeteria style to refill the reserves because we don't sell property that often. And then lastly, we talked about our work plan a little bit because we've actually accomplished quite a bit this year already. Very proud of the committee. And we even chalked off some of the remaining ones underneath that never got scheduled. And I will put forward one of the things that we are going to be actually talking about that's added is what is the minimum wage in Olympia and what do we need to do about evaluating it, whether it's adequate or not. And that will be coming in August, I think.
Thank you. That's good stuff. Any questions for Councilmember Parsley? Councilmember Gilman.
I just wanted to add a sentence on that. That last item was really important to me, that when I first came on council, Councilmember Cooper had made a referral that's been waiting for about 8 years to have this conversation. It's been on the to-be-scheduled list. So we pulled it off the to-be-scheduled list to talk about livable wage and worker protections and what might we do, and figured we should just have a discussion this fall because staff will always be too busy and will always be a little bit nervous about how the community might receive it. So let's make a plan for how we bring that forward as a council and how we have the conversation.
Thank you for that reminder. Yes, and thank you, Councilmember Cooper, for that. Yeah, you have been talking about this for years now, along with universal basic income. So, yeah, thank you. All right, Councilmember Cooper.
Thank you, Mayor Payne. I will get my grease. A couple of items. So Councilmember Madrone and I have been continuing to meet with Department of Enterprise Services around the estuary restoration. And I think today in our one-on-ones with DES, I felt really strong, like we're moving past the more difficult pieces of the conversation and getting to the legalese in the interlocal agreement that will come to the city council. And tentatively, should it get through the agenda setting committee, looking at October 1st for a study session with adoption the following Tuesday in a council meeting. So if we can get that schedule to work, we're on track for it. And we'll be fine tuning the document over the summer and then be able to bring it around to everyone to take a look at. But progress is feeling pretty good, to me anyway. Let's see. The next item is just I want to pick up on the meeting at the VFW. I thought it was a really good opportunity to be with people, and one that I wish we had more opportunity for, to be honest, because you find when you can listen to people's concerns in real time and have the opportunity to answer, you can build a relationship that didn't exist. And that was my finding there at that meeting. I was very proud of our mayor for addressing the failure of the war on drugs. And so I hope when we talk about drugs in the future, we'll talk about the failure of the entire situation around the war on drugs, because I think the referral tonight was the least of my concerns, to be honest. So I like to elevate the conversation to a higher level if possible. But also the other moment in time that was really special for me was just hearing from OPD about the immediate actions and improvements they've been able to take around the VFW, particularly around traffic and parking, removing some drug dealer cars from the block. As soon as they were tasked, they took action, and that led to a moment where I wish we had on tape. The mayor could very directly respond to the audience about the myth that we don't support the Olympia Police Department in enforcing our laws. And I wish that response had been on tape, because I said that actually, but because it was very well said, and I was proud of you. So thanks for doing that, and thanks for letting me participate. And then lastly, I'd like to take a moment to remember the life of Neil McClanahan. When I started serving on council, he was on the Tumwater City Council and was the chair of the Home Consortium, which was the federal body created around federal home dollars. And as I understand it from history and from the work that he and Kathy Wolf did to create that, the first regional housing entity in Thurston County. And so I've been remembering him a lot this past week. The county had flags at half-mast. I hold his housing authority seat as a commissioner, which is pretty special to me. And he really just helped me learn about the housing dynamic as a new council member. And I think probably the most special thing about Neil is as a police officer, I used the undersheriff for the Thurston County Sheriff's Office for a long time, under Sheriff Edwards. And like most OPD, in fact, every OPD person I've talked to, he understood that the key to law enforcement was working yourself out of a job. And that was by taking care of people and getting them in situations where they weren't driven to commit crime. And he always viewed crime as people having a hard time that led to the wrong decision, and not that people were just inherently criminal. And I carry that with me, and I learned a lot from him. And I hope that the community will take some time to recognize him. There's a good article in the Olympian today, and I'm hopeful that in the future we will do something between the county and the housing authority to recognize him in a bigger way.
Thank you. Any questions or comments for Councilmember Cooper? All right. And thank you for those comments. I appreciate that. All right. Assistant City Manager Rich Hoy.
Well, thank you, Mayor. I just want to thank you all again for the really kind remarks at the beginning of the meeting. This is my last council meeting with the City of Olympia. Thanks for making it so special and meaningful. I really appreciate it. Since I have the opportunity, I want to echo the kudos that you gave to our housing team tonight. So to Anastasia and Darian and Jacinda and Krista for pulling together that application with a lot of help, including from staff, Dave Smith and Mark and Public Works. It was a big team effort. So that was exceptional staff work to get to that point. So I just wanted to echo that. And in closing, I hope you all have a nice Juneteenth holiday tomorrow. And just a reminder of the event this weekend, the Juneteenth celebration at Rebecca Howard Park. Just welcome the community out for that. Thank you all. Nothing more to report.
Thank you, Rich.
Thank you, Rich.
Yes, thank you, Rich. Yes, and we will have actually a really busy weekend in downtown. So not only do we have the Juneteenth celebration happening at Rebecca Howard Park, but we also have the Pet Parade is happening this weekend along with Love Ole's Summerfest. We also have the pub crawl. So it's going to be super busy, and I think we're expecting nice weather this weekend. So everyone, please be safe and have a great weekend, and happy Juneteenth. So with no further business before the Olympia City Council, we're adjourned.